How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some big news, loads of stuff to talk about today, so sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. Starting things off, we're going to be kicking off with this right here. Now, what are we talking about? Well, Riddler posted this image, which is actually for a brand new Chinese-based Pokemon movie of sorts, or, I don't know, video, something like that. Basically, here's an explanation for what we're talking about. So basically, what this is some sort of new Pokemon web anime / short film where you travel with your Pokemon in their dreams and stuff, which is really interesting because there's loads of stuff in here. You've got, well, Mewtwo in the top. You've got all the different consoles down here. You've got Game Boy, you've got the DS, 3DS, Game Boy Color, etc. And the interesting thing is, this was posted on Weibo, which is the biggest, basically the Google of / Facebook of / Twitter of China. But either way, what is this got to do with Ku? Well, he basically posted this image and then said, all games ahead of, I guess, Nintendo Switch era assemble here. Don't think it's exclusive to China only. We will see. Which is, again, intriguing because this could literally mean anything. I'm not really sure how important this is. Even Soul Silver said, oh, this looks really cool and beautiful. I wonder if this will eventually be released in English too, even for hashtag Pokemon Day. It would be really cool, but seeing as there was only a Chinese official announcement, I'm not counting on that. So this is like an official Pokemon, China animated thingy, which is really interesting that they're doing that, but they have been doing a lot of exclusive China stuff recently, so you know, anything is possible. Either way, next thing, though, is going to be something a little bit different, though. So we have this post right here. Team Rocket's Counterattack, which is releasing, I guess, in March 10th. The Pokemon that Team Rocket have caught from various regions are delivered to the trio. Excited at the reunion with all their old friends, the Team Rocket forms Operation Catch Pikachu, which puts everything they've experienced on the line. So basically, it's going to be a final episode about Team Rocket, with them basically getting together all their old Pokemon to try to capture well, Pikachu, I guess, which is really crazy. But yeah, so that's happening within the anime, which is intriguing. But again, this is all small stuff that we're kind of getting through really quickly. Another example, for small stuff is that the Pokemon animation director, Kunihiko Yumayama, said that Ash will return in the future, and Ash will remain at 10 years old, so he will not be the dad of the new characters we've seen or whatever. So that's not going to be a worry. Next up, though, is a post by Light. This comes to us from 4chan, and this is going to be a big list of, I would assume this would mostly be a wish list, but it is actually a 4chan post, and sometimes these things are real, and oftentimes they are fake, so keep that in mind, please. Just please remember, this is most likely fake, but we're reading it for fun anyway. So, here's the breakdown. He says that this is going to be the Pokemon Day Presents. Jeez. It starts with a cinematic CG footage of a massive orange cloud shooting pink lightning. From the left of the screen, a purple chimera dragon hyena approaches and snarls. This is interrupted by a sound like an ambulance horn as a robotic horse hovering off the ground approaches. As they both close in on the camera, a massive swirl of white light shines through the storm, with two dark eyes coming into focus before the camera gets blown away. It cuts to Ishihara and Utsunomiya, who explain that you've just seen the trailer for The Storms of History, which is a paid expansion to Scarlet and Violet that will be coming later this year. More info at a later date. Sounds like a cool way to announce it. But either way, brief segment on Gen 9 Pokemon cards, which we got last time as well, so that would be interesting if they would do more about that. A brief segment on updates for Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Go, and Masters. Unite Celebration music video that shows a bunch of different Pokemon. I don't know which, if any, are new to the game. I don't play it, fair enough. Pokemon shirts Unova announcement and previews. So Pokemon shirts are these shirts they do. Not my thing, but they do them. So yeah, I guess fair enough on that. Reveal trailer for Pokemon League, the sequel to Pokken Tournament. That would be... Oh, Pokken League, not Pokemon. Pokken League. That would be sick, dude. Oh my lord, that would actually be a really cool announcement. Either way, we'll have to wait and see. Combat is actually like Tekken now. Interesting. Promises a roster of 40 fighters, stating that not all the older fighters will return. The 6 featured on the box art and trailer cinematic are Delphox, Lucario, Pikachu, Libre, Tyranitar, Ceruledge, and Poliwrath. Interesting. Well, Ceruledge makes sense. But really, Pikachu, Libre again? Lucario? Fair enough. Either way, releases on September 1st, demo available after Direct. Whoa, that would be dream come true right there. That would be literally dream come true. Seeming to wrap it up at the 20-minute mark. Again, that would be literally the dream if that was to happen. But either way, so he continues on. It says, wait, let me see. Releases on September 1st, demo seeming to wrap it up at the 20-minute mark. So that was one of the posts. I don't know if this is a continuation of it or what this is, but this is another post that continues it, I guess. So it's either way, it says, Utsunomiya reminds Ishihara of the big announcement. Cut to the footage of Stadium and Stadium 2 on Switch before they go to the import menu, loading Pokemon Home and showing them scroll through grayed out Switch titles until they reach Pokemon Red and select it. The footage changes through various points in a Red playthrough, fighting Brock, Lavender Town, the SS Anne. This transitions into similar scenes from Johto, the Burn Tower, and the Ruins of Alph, Mount Silver. This leads into Hoenn scenes helping Birch, Old Mawile, Sotopolis. Simultaneously, we see all of their respective trade animations as their teams go into Pokemon Home. Returning to live action, the two announced that the Game Boy games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online with online features and events enabled. Oh, that would be so cool, though. The first two generations will be compatible with the Stadium games, allowing you to raise your team to the max. Red, Blue, and Yellow will be releasing alongside Stadium after the presentation. Gold, Silver, and Crystal will be releasing alongside Stadium 2 in the summer, with Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald will be releasing in the holiday of 2023, which, fair enough. They acknowledge that fans have been eagerly waiting to replay the third generation, especially after the 3DS stopped at Johto. They say that in order to hold fans of the advanced era over, Fire Red and Leaf Green along with Pinball Ruby Sapphire will be releasing after the presentation. That would be sick. They thank everyone again for their support, and that's it. Just over 26 minutes. And then capture this. This, in some way, I'm gonna be real, this sounds a bit realistic. In a weird way, I do think it sounds a little realistic. Just because, as much as it sounds crazy, it's not that crazy. Part of me feels like this could be possible. I mean, again, a part of me, a really, really small part of me thinks that this could be real. But again, tiny part of me, okay? It's not all of me, it's a tiny part of me. But again, we'll have to wait and see if this actually develops into anything. It is a bit too detailed, though. But then again, we have had very detailed stuff like this in the past, so anything is possible is all I'm trying to say. Either way, that was one of the first things. Let's move on to the next subject, which is going to be this post right here. I want to quickly just debunk this post. For anybody that's seen this exact image, this image is fake. Just want to point that out. It's just a fake image. This happens quite a lot. It's just a mod, I think, for the game or something like that. It's just basically a hacked Switch, and it's not official or anything. It's not real. Just keep that in mind. But I just wanted to point that out because some people were like, going crazy about it. But just a quick point out on that. Next up, though, we have a massive theory here. It's a big boy theory coming to us from Soul Silver. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a long one. So he starts off. We all think that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's codename is Titan because of the Titans in the game. What if I told you it may not be that, but instead because the codename is just another name for the third legendary? Because the third legendary is based off of the Greek Titan, Atlas. Think about it this way. Maybe when they started developing these games, they began with the idea to build the entire game off of the Titan Atlas, and in turn, Atlantis, which Spain is close to. If any of the community speculations are correct, then the third legendary was the cause of the entire Scarlet and Violet plot, gimmicks, and Area Zero. So it makes sense for the codename of the game to be based on it, which, yes, I could see that being the case here. We continue on. But who was Atlas? In short, Titans in Greek mythology were the old gods that had a war with the new gods, Olympians, and lost. Atlas was one of them, and as a punishment, he was banished to the most western edges of the world, which at the time was North Africa, okay? That continues on, across from Spain, and hold this guy on his back. I want to focus on the banishment for a second, because it could be possible that the disc Pokemon was banished to the deepest parts of the Earth, just like Atlas was banished to the farthest edges of the Earth. This symbolizes them being banished to as far away as possible. Alright, that actually sounds pretty cool. But we also have to talk about where this all stems from. In Scarlet and Violet's datamine, it was found that Atlantis is the codename for Area Zero. Interesting. I've attached the detail on that below. Normally, codenames don't mean much, but the correlation between Area Zero and Atlantis just adds up perfectly. And there is a whole post about that. We already covered that a while back, so I'm not going to do that again. But either way, we continue on. As you could probably figure out, Atlantis and Atlas are similar names in origin and structure, and the connection between them don't stop there. Atlas was banished to the western edge of the world, so in real life, they named the Atlantic Ocean and the Atlas Mountains in North Africa after him. And, of course, I guess, the island of Atlantis too, which was right past the Strait of Gibraltar. all of these locations near each other and near Spain and Portugal. In reality, Atlas the Titan had nothing to do with the lore of Atlantis itself, but Plato almost definitely had this Titan in mind when he named the island, and he even said that its first king was named Atlas. All right, well, makes sense. Another huge connection is we all know about how Coridon's ability is related to Atlantis, but Meridon's Hadron engine was a little more loosely based until now. You can see more details on them, but a major company and one of the biggest Hadron Collider experiments are both named Atlas. Yes, which is probably where Game Freak even got this idea from when researching these machines. I could go into more detail on quarks and quark drives too, but it's not that necessary. Now for the most obvious hint. Did you notice that anything similar between the disc Pokemon and Atlas? Well, we are all assuming the disc Pokemon is based off of the world/cosmic turtle, which is a giant Titan turtle that literally carries the world on its back. Atlas didn't originally carry the world on his back, but over these centuries, that became the common misconception, even to the point that maps of the world became known as atlases. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Even if you wanted to argue the original myth is him holding up the sky/heavens in the shape of a globe, that still connects heavily back to Scarlet and Violet with Team Star, Cassiopeia, which yes is that actually I totally forgot Cassiopeia and the star connections. Oh my lord. And Team Star. Yeah, oh my lord, it's crazy, etc. And Spanish navigation using constellations, and the 3L having a disc. All right. There's one other big point about the main stories about Atlas and his daughters, who tend to a garden of gold apples. You can see the stories, also the myth of creating the Atlas Mountains. But my point is, if the DLC signature fruit is a yellow/light colored apple of any kind, a pineapple may also be considered a golden apple. That will be a direct connection back to Atlas once again. Also, Spain is literally known for its golden apples, and of course, golden apples are a huge theme in many Greek myths. Fair enough. All of this is to say that I don't think the crater came from the asteroid hitting the Earth. I think the ancient civilization of Paldea used to be high above the surface, and the third legendary was a king/god that lived there and made it successful. But then he was banished. It was banished to the farthest depths of the earth, and his whole civilization went down with it. Ever since then, it's been down there trying to recreate the former paradise it used to have above the surface. Again, really cool idea. There's also this connection, an ancient extinct turtle/tortoise, naturally found underground, which is right here. The Megalocylus, aka the Atlas turtle, is an extinct tortoise of Eurasia, which, wow. It is really crazy. And yeah, even again here, maybe that's why it's named the Paradise Protection Protocol. Wow, it is honestly kind of crazy. This is a crazy theory. I would say, if you guys want to get more details, please check out, Soul's like actual post here to go more in depth on it if you want to. Definitely recommend it. It is massive. There's loads in here to just read into. But yeah, so again, your thoughts and opinions on that would be appreciated. I think it's a cool theory. I think it sounds good. And I also love this idea that he kind of shared right here. I love this concept art of the third legendary by Matteo Oldani. Basically, it's just showing, again, it's just like this cool concept of what the third legendary could look like based on that one artwork we have in the game, which honestly looks pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie, it's pretty lit actually for a Pokemon. If it actually moves around like this, around the globe that it's like kind of hovers on, I think this would be really sick. Like a lot of interesting concepts for what it could look like. Again, really cool idea. We'll have to wait and see if it actually does end up happening. Next up is this right here. It's somebody's prediction thread, and this was shared to me by, I think, John, saying, just take a look at this, and it basically says, I've been saying since the announced Pokemon Stadium coming to Nintendo Online sometime in 2023 that it was going to be released alongside an announcement for a Switch game that feels like Stadium/Coliseum/XD Gale of Darkness. I, for one, am already excited. I never got to play the OGs. I grew up in a PlayStation family, which I think is highly also possible. See, as much as I don't think we're going to get a Stadium, Coliseum, or, XD Gale of Darkness remake, with brand new graphics or anything like that, I don't think we can get remakes. I do think we could get either remasters or just re-releases on Nintendo Switch Online, on like the regular like retro release, like re-release version, right? Like something like that, which I think would be really cool because, yes, it's true, not a lot of people played Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness, but that's also because those games really didn't sell well. They were on the GameCube, which honestly is a poorly performing console. It undersold. It did really poorly, actually, in sales, realistically, compared to the follow-up, which was the Wii. It did really poorly, so a lot of people didn't even get to experience Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness. They never got to play it, but one of the best ways to actually get to re-experience it would be if they re-released it, straight up onto the Nintendo Switch, which shouldn't be that difficult. I've seen people easily recreate it with just emulators on the Switch because there's lots of that. So they could easily do it. It's not a big deal or anything. And I think it will do really well because a lot of people just haven't experienced it. And a lot of people don't have good enough PCs to be able to actually run an emulator like Dolphin or something to actually play Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness or even Stadium. So it would be nice if they actually re-released those games too. Coliseum XD Gale of Darkness would be sick to have on there. And I would also be a big fan and big proponent for a remake of those two games. I think that would be sick as well. So yeah, just a quick little side note there. Just want to include it. And then we move on to the next thing right here, which is a really cool little ID. So there's no way Game Freak did this on purpose, right? Like, okay, S for the ancient Suicune and V for the future Virizion, but did they invert them when choosing them too? Because this is too perfect. They're literally Scarlet and Violet colored. Also, they look just like the two unused items, which if you can see right here, the inverted colors on them, yes, does match with the Scarlet and does match with the Violet. It is actually perfect. And if you look at this, and look at those items when inverted too, also this person recolored them to match the color inversion, and it looks great. This could also even be confirmed when in these paradoxes get revealed, they are these same colors, or maybe even their shinies could be, similar to something like an inverted color. So you guys can see kind of what it looks like down here by Aquatic Panic. Again, really cool ID. We'll have to wait and see if anything does come from that, and if actually that was meant to be. Because sometimes, maybe we're diving a little too deep into it. But again, I do think there's always a worthwhile thing to find within these cool sort of things. Because Pokemon and Game Freak, they love doing this kind of stuff. And also, he talks about, a while back I speculated that there could be more Titan Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet DLC. There's still a mystery about Herba Mystica and its connection to Area Zero. I don't know about you, but I didn't see any down there. Nor Titans. Do you think we'll get more Titans in the DLC? Yes, I think we might get more Titans spread out, but not maybe there, maybe somewhere else that maybe we just didn't know about and they just kind of got loose. So I do think that is highly possible. We might see some more Titan-type Pokemon. But again, anything is possible. So yeah. Either way, final thing I want to show you guys before we end up this video is this post by Subarashi, where he kind of did a version of his own of what the kind of flying version of like a Suicune, not flying, but just like with that flying body shape could look like. And I think this looks pretty sick, man. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.